Good morning, guys. How you doing? All right. So I've had to remote into my Windows machine because I've installed the trading station on my physical machine, and the latest update, the patch, actually it breaks it. It crashes the launch. You can't even launch the terminal because of the latest patch. So if you are using the FXCM trading station, don't install the latest update. Well, you can download it, but don't install it. All right, so if it asks you for an option, do you want it? Just click cancel, okay? Because what I did it, and then it just caused horrible problems on my physical machine, on my client, on my physical machine. So this is a remote virtual machine that's sitting on the cloud. So that's the address there. So I'm actually connecting remotely, which is quite cool. And it's a good idea to have something remote, just because in case anything happens on your local machine, you've got a backup, and you can access this on your mobile, on your Chromebook, Android, anything. So it's really cool. So we just had the CPI data out. So I think what might happen is that we're going to come down to test some support, and the reason for those boxes is because they've sold it. So you know, we should have seen price come up. If we come down, it's just going to come to their break even. What is interesting is 106. They sold it there. See the arrow? They sold it at the round number. So I'm thinking potentially come down for a bounce. And these are support boxes because this is where they sold it. So they sold it, so it maps to that candle. And then they sold it again, so that maps to that candle. So currently well supported. If you wanted to, in my advice would be to place an order. Don't necessarily enter the market because it could go any way. We just had the CPI data. So I think it'd be better to place an order personally, and you can have a stop here. It's a 14 pip stop, so it's very affordable, quite cheap. That is a much wider stop. So if you were to take that, your risk would have to be a lot smaller in so much as that your lot size should be drastically reduced. This one here, you can have like a normal size. This one, just reduce your risk because it's a lot wider, but you can see how they're both supports. Okay, and because this is like a fresh install, we don't have separate windows for the symbols, so I'm going to have to go to the drop down, but that's fine. We'll just zip through these. So gold, we made a buy back here, which the arrow has indicated, and the down arrows are them selling it, and the green arrows are them buying it against its moving average. But the one that of note was that one there, and we see the deviation between the two, and we saw the big divergence of the sentiment and its moving average, and it just propelled price higher, and that's that. So the 21 moving average is just something I've added to it. We can just use it as a simple support or resistance line. We see we are above it now. And S&P, and we'll do US 30. Yeah, so it's kind of annoying. Oh, that's fine actually. Yeah. So what I want to do, I want to keep this virtual machine running, because what happens, I made a video just now and I couldn't stop the video because my OBS software is on my local machine, but this is a virtual instance, and I'd maximized the screen and it wouldn't allow me to stop the video, and it was really annoying. So this is a second take, but they sold it here. You can see what happened. The price action was scary enough for them to sell it. They did in a big way, and so up we come. So I was saying it could have been scary news related, or really it could have just been price related. If you're seeing things fall, it's going to encourage people to sell, isn't it? So that could have been a trap. So what I'm thinking is the same with the US 30. I think that's what happened here. Can you see we've actually made a channel break as well? A very strong channel break. See those lows and those highs? Boom. They sold it. So probably from the recent price action, to be honest, it was scary enough for them to sell it, and they did. And lastly, DAX, and then I just have to remember to stop the video here, right? It would be annoying if I didn't. So they've gone long, so this is a decent resistance. So you can see how we respected that supply. Supply in so much is a sentimental supply, and it shouldn't allow them to profit. So if they go long, they have to get punished. That's it. It's dead simple. And they've shorted it, and so they get punished. So we're currently in between, and I think what's going to happen today is that we're just going to sort of rubber band between the two, resistance and support. We might break, it all depends what happens here. We might make a sell, because we're quite close, aren't we? So I'm going to wrap up now and do a Patreon video, and we can look at some trade setups for next week, and we'll just have to see how we go. Remember, the bond volatility this week was immense. I've never seen anything like it in my trading career. This week was absolutely bonkers in terms of volatility in the government bonds. So we've got to be really careful, and it might be a roller coaster week next week, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got FOMC as well, which you guys are well aware of because I've been doing the updates every day, and to see how we go. So trade safely, and I'll speak to you guys later.